make sure it's kosher. Lean on me like Bill Withers until you smell the roses.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail, man. America's losing its good image. Oh my God. I brought this up earlier when I talked about, power and the petrodollar. And I just wanted to expound on what I'm getting at or saying. For years, America has been looked at as the place where dreams come true and the gold standard. There are other quote unquote countries, nations, continents in the world that the life is harder. Let's just say it that way. And people are like, if I go to America, I can have opportunity. And I've said this over the last few decades, the world has become quote unquote woke. Like people like to use the woke thing now, but I hear African politicians tell European and American politicians or leaderships, you sabotage us. Like I'm supposed to follow your lead when you're doing all of these trifling things. The respect is gone. When I think about, this country has the greatest and brightest minds in the world. I forgot the show where the actor was saying, America's the greatest country on earth. And it's like, no, we're not. And he went off, and then they tried to cancel him. It was a television series. Or was it a movie? I forget which one. But on one end, and I would say the image of the all-American is, of course, the all-American boy is a white guy, and the all-American girl is a white girl. But the model American is quote-unquote Asian, right? The hardest working American is quote-unquote Hispanic, right? I guess we're also the most dangerous and most athletic, entertaining, whatever, right? And basically, white people own a lot and they run a lot. And what keeps happening over and over and over again is people are looking at a society of bailouts. If you're not white, if you fail, you're gonna fall on your face. But if you are white, you can actually fail up. So people are like, okay, what are you great at? What is America actually great at? War. Definitely war, right? But people are starting to lose the respect for America warring because the debt is so high. It's like, even if you go to war, can you afford to keep doing it? And I remember when 9/11 happened and the country was all, Saddam Hussein it's not Saddam Hussein. Osama bin Laden is public enemy number one. And one of the things that they talked about that was referenced was part of the 9/11, the knocking down of the Twin Towers and hitting the Pentagon and whatnot, was to get America to jump the gun and go to war and possibly break, and that would help break the economy. Which, by the way, it worked because not only did we go to the wrong country for decades, basically, spent a whole lot of money doing it and broke the economy, which made people look at the United States as dumb. And if some of y'all don't remember, Barack Obama was a senator, I believe, then, and he was against the war. And him being like the only person against the war, because he's like, we're going to the wrong place in a sense, that helped him on his presidential campaign and presidential run. Because he saw what the problem, he saw this is not a good look. So he was right. But as Americans, the country was so arrogant that we want him to fix it in a few years. And it's like, can kind of dug a hole too deep. So now, when you look at stuff, Americans, abroad, I've heard this for years, where Americans go abroad and they think they're looked at highly, especially white Americans. From my understanding, people like you're arrogant, you're rude, you're stupid, you know, you believe you're more important than you are. Like you're pain on the world and society. So now, when people say we're going places and changing hearts and minds, I can say this country has done great things in other countries for other people. But at the same time, I can say that this country has probably done more harmful things to destroy other countries and other people than they've done great things. So now people are counting up, they're weighing America's pros and cons. And the same situation with this petrodollar is like, this idea that, if it ain't white, it ain't right. Because of how the economy works, is like, y'all just not that bright. Like people who have been giving you a pass because of, this whole mythical Jesus figure that, your God's on earth and you can do no wrong even if you've done a lot of wrong. And now that image is is torpedoing into the ground, and white people are just humans, and they're not above anybody else. And now their stuff doesn't stink, right? Like it used to be their stuff didn't stink, but now it stinks a whole lot. And I think even in America, with all of the intermingling of groups and ethnicities in the game that's played in this country, using race and class, people start to realize, you know, people aren't as good as they thought. Because that's the one thing about competition, that when you start to compete on a quote unquote level playing field, or just the opportunity of competing on a level playing field, you start to see. And America is an uneven, an unlevel playing field, but competing in this situation, you start to see how many built-in advantages people have, how many people would cheat to win, to make sure somebody who's probably not the best will win. You get what I'm saying? So now it becomes, you're weak, because if I gotta overcome all these odds to beat you, and you get all of this help to win, and you still lose, you're weak. You shouldn't even be in the positions you're in, as far as in the negative positions, because you got such a long head start. But how did you mess that up? Because you're not that bright. You get what I'm saying? So what winds up happening is America has ruined its good image. And while people think, this country has a lot of goodwill and it can do a lot of things and it can muscle people and it can, put use the politics and foreign policy to, stop people and stifle people's growth. It's like, no, you can't. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Now people are gonna, make America pay for everything that America's done, and then we're really gonna be in debt. So that's just my 2 cents. Tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.